Welcome, everybody. I am Drunken Emerald Arrow. While most people are talking about the outcome of the Super Bowl, they're talking about what Trump is doing with the liberals' hair on fire. I'm going to talk about space, mainly our attempt to get back to the moon, and the fact that it's not going so well right now. But before we get into the video, you hit that like button, and while you're there, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Now let's get on to the article. Can't say this is out of the blue, but it looks like Boeing's going to have to cut more jobs in relation to the SLS program. The SLS program is part of Artemis. Artemis is what NASA is using to get man back to the moon. Fortunately, it is behind schedule and over budget. Not to mention, Boeing Starliner has not been performing as they had hoped. In their manned trial, the astronauts ended up having to stay at the International Space Station and let the capsule return unmanned. Now, with the Trump administration coming into office and Elon Musk heading up the Department of Government Efficiency, a lot of people are thinking because he's the head of SpaceX, he's going to try to take swipes at Boeing. Well, that might be true, but maybe not so much. Looking at it from an aspect of government spending, the Artemis program being behind schedule and over budget, it may be on the chopping block, and it looks like Boeing is getting ready for that possibility. The Trump administration's potential cancellation of NASA's Space Launch System program could impact about 400 Boeing employees, according to sources. Boeing, which plays a key role in the SLS project, confirmed the possibility of significant layoffs after revisions to NASA's Artemis program, which is over budget and behind schedule. Over the weekend, Boeing executives informed WESH 2 News that they had notified employees of potential job cuts expected to take effect by April 25. To align with the revisions of the Artemis program and cost expectations, today we informed our Space Launch System team of the potential for approximately 400 fewer positions by April 2025, Boeing said in a statement to WESH. Under the Federal Work Adjustment and Retainer Notification Act, Boeing is required to provide 60-day notice of involuntary layoffs. So it looks like Boeing is getting ahead of the possible funds being cut by DOGE. But with all good businesses, it looks like they may be trying to at least keep the firings to a minimum. As we can see, we are working with our customers and seek opportunities to redeploy employees across our company to minimize job loss and retain our talented team members. Said, which makes sense because you want to know what? If you have talented employees, you just don't want to fire them. You want to reallocate those resources and use them where they're going to be more efficient. The looming layoffs come amid growing pressure from SpaceX founder and head of the Trump administration's Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk, who's advocating for a shift in focus to Mars exploration and cost cutting measures across the federal government. SpaceX has performed several tests over the past year of its new super heavy lift rocket called Starship and can launch comparable loads to orbit. See, this is the thing. At this point, SpaceX has the possibility of overtaking SLS and the Boeing system. Now, we've seen the videos. SpaceX is doing some really interesting things when it comes to Starship, but even Starship is having its own issues. It's doing some neat things, but I don't think it's at a point where it could take it over. However, this is the difference between a private company coming in and innovating, and then you have a project with like Boeing and the government. That one is over budget and behind schedule, like most things are in the government, which leaves us to believe that, you want to know what? Unless major reforms come to the SLS project, I don't think SLS is going to be what actually gets us to the moon. In addition to the SLS related layoffs, Boeing has already let go 141 employees as part of a broader initiative to reduce its workforce. The company announced in 2024 that it would cut 10% of its 170,000 US based employees. This includes about 2 dozen workers at the Kennedy Space Center, where Boeing's Starliner spacecraft is manufactured, and another 20 employees in Titusville, home of the Boeing Space and Launch Division headquarters. So this isn't the first time that Boeing's had to actually make some cuts when it comes to the space program. And we've been trying to get back to the moon for years now, and it just doesn't look like we're getting any closer. But in the world of government and space travel, it's hard to say aboard which system we are going to see Americans return to the moon. Will it be aboard a SpaceX Starship, or will it be in a Starliner that Boeing has built aboard the SLS? Only time will tell, and hopefully we see man back on the moon within our lifetimes. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you in the next video.